The cry of rebellion marked the beginning of the Philippine Revolution in 1896, which ultimately led to Philippine independence in 1898. The event was defined as the turning point when the Filipinos finally refused Spanish colonial dominion over the Philippine Islands. With tears in their eyes, the people as one pulled out their cedulas and tore them into pieces.
Guillermo R. Masangkay, a friend and advisor of Andres Bonifacio, the founder of the Katipunan. Guillermo Masangkay, who joined the underground society when he was only 17, was the Supremo's personal counselor. When Bonifacio founded the Katipunan on July 7, 1892, Guillermo Masangkay became one of its first members. It was Masangkay who was designated to organize the Katipunan chapter in Cavite. Guillermo Masangkay had personal knowledge of the historical events in question, as he was a member of the Revolutionary Army of the Katipunan. For him, some of the alleged rectifications about the cry of rebellion were far from the truth, and so he wrote his accounts about the event in order to refute these corrections and to tell the Filipinos what actually happened.
Where did the cry of rebellion happen? According to Masangkay, on August 26, a big meeting was held in Balintawak at the house of Apolonio Samson, then cabeza of the barrio of Caloocan.
This version is written by Katipunan General Guillermo Masangkay. He is an eyewitness of the historic event and childhood friend of Bonifacio. According to him, the first rally of Philippine Revolution happened on August 26, 1896 at Balintawak. The date and site presented were accepted by the preliminary years of American government.
Cry of Balintawak by Guillermo Masangkay. On August 26th, a big meeting was held in Balintawak at the house of Apolonio Samson, then cabeza of the barrio of Caloocan. Among those who attended, I remember, were Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, Aguedo del Rosario, Tomas Remigio, Bricio Pantas, Teodoro Plata, Pio Valenzuela, Enrique Pacheco, and Francisco Carrion. They were all leaders of the Katipunan and composed the board of directors of the organization. Delegates from Bulacan, Cabanatuan, Cavite, and Morong were also present. At about 9 o'clock in the morning of August 26, the meeting was opened with Andres Bonifacio presiding and Emilio Jacinto acting as secretary. The purpose was to discuss when the uprising was to take place. Teodoro Plata, Bricio Pantas, and Pio Valenzuela were all opposed to starting the revolution too early. Andres Bonifacio, sensing that he would lose in the discussion, then left the session hall and talked to the people, who were waiting outside for the result of the meeting of the leaders. He told the people that the leaders were arguing against starting the revolution early, and appealed to them in a fiery speech in which he said, "You remember the fate of our countrymen who were shot in Bagumbayan? Should we return now to the towns, the Spaniards will only shoot us. Our organization has been discovered, and we are all marked men. If we don't start the uprising, the Spaniards will get us anyway. What then do you say?" "Revolt!" the people shouted as one. Bonifacio then asked the people to give a pledge that they were to revolt. He told them that the sign of slavery of the Filipinos or the settled attacks charged each citizen. "If it is true that you are ready to revolt, I want to see you destroy your settlers. It will be a sign that all of us have declared our severance from the Spaniards."
Masangkay basically claims that the first cry of the Katipunan happened in Balintawak and not in Pugudlawin. These are the evidences that support Masangkay's claims. First, Masangkay has a personal knowledge of the historical events in question, as he was a member of the Revolutionary Army of the Katipunan. Second, according to Masangkay, the first cry of Balintawak took place Pantas and Valenzuela had already fled in order to surrender to the Spaniards to save themselves, while Pacheco was never there, therefore indicating that they were not able to witness the first cry.
Much less credence should be given to all accounts coming from Pio Valenzuela because there were various statements made by Valenzuela that they were not always compatible with one another. The term Pugadlawin was never officially recognized as a place named on any Philippine map before Second World War. Pugadlawin appeared in historiography only from 1928 or some 32 years after the events took place. The revolution was always traditionally held to have occurred in the area of Balintawak, which was distinct from Caloocan and Diliman. Therefore, while the toponym Pugadlawin is more romantic, it is more accurate to stick to the original cry of Balintawak.
The later accounts of Pio Valenzuela and Guillermo Masangkay on the tearing of cedulas on the 23rd of August are basically in agreement, but conflict with each other on the location. Valenzuela points to the house of Juan Ramos in Pugadlawin, while Masangkay refers to Apolonio Samson's in Kangkong. Masangkay's final statement has more weight, as it is corroborated by many eyewitnesses who were photographed in 1917, when the earliest 23rd August marker was installed. Valenzuela's date in his memoirs conflict with 1928 and 1930 photographs of the surveys with the several Katipunan officers.